We're here.
Hello and welcome to another edition of 5-Star Broadcast. I'm Andy Peck.
And I'm Angelo Parenti.
And today we're going to be discussing some of the things that have happened in recent weeks in the WWE. We're starting off with Randy Orton. He's been put in the Elimination Chamber match to defend his title against Daniel Bryan, John Cena, Cesaro, Christian, and who am I missing? Sheamus. See, we forget about Sheamus all the time. But yeah, so he's been having these matches leading up to Elimination Chamber where he faces each opponent, and so far he's 1-3.
Yeah, they've all been pretty good matches too.
They have been.
And I mean, even him and Cena, even though we've seen it so many times, it was an okay match, I guess. To
be honest, for that one, I kind of zoned out because we've seen it so many times. But I mean, from what I saw, it was, you know, a decent match, and it's not that they have bad matches together. It's happened so much. Like, I hope we don't see them face each other again for a long, long time after this.
Yeah. I've been hearing a lot about like how Randy Orton has lost so much, just is points in the direction that he might win the Elimination Chamber. How do you feel about that?
I think that's what's going to happen. I think Orton has been losing all these matches. He only beat Christian, who, as we've said in the past, if anybody was to be taken out of this match, it would be Christian. So obviously, he has no chance of winning. So I think they are setting up for Orton to kind of just, you know, get beat by all these guys and somehow come away with the win at Elimination Chamber.
I was just like, depending on the Elimination Chamber crowd, like, for them to not have Daniel Bryan win again. But I think it's going to be interesting, like, especially, I feel like no matter what, I'm kind of glad because through all this, Cesaro is getting a nice push out of it.
He is, and I was shocked that he was put in this match. When I read, you know, the spoilers that he came through and got the win, I was kind of wondering where the catch was, but, you know, it's good for him, and I think coming out of this, he'll be a bigger star, being surrounded by all these main event guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be good too because we could see, like, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with them after the Elimination Chamber too. You know,
yeah, whether
or not there's gonna be the split between the Real Americans. I mean, Swagger's gonna be facing Big E for the Intercontinental title at Elimination Chamber. What do you think about that?
What I think is gonna happen here, and you know, I could be wrong, but it seems like they're going to give Swagger the win here, give him the title, and then have Zeb be disappointed in Swagger because he's going to lose the Elimination Chamber, and it'll create that friction between them, and possibly lead up to a match at WrestleMania with Swagger and Cesaro.
Good plan.
I don't know, it's just what I was thinking, so...
Yeah, that would be sweet. It's just, I hope Cesaro doesn't, because, I don't know, I was hoping when Big E got the Intercontinental Championship, maybe it would mean a little more, but I mean, he hasn't even defended it till the last week when, well, they set up this on SmackDown. They set up the 4-way match, but that'll be cool. I think like when you have teams break up and then they actually like fight each other and feud, like when like Ziggler and Big E split up, nothing happened. But I think that's cool too with the primetime players. Like, they're splitting up, and, you know, they're continuing. Like, Titus O'Neil went after Darren Young on SmackDown. Like, I'd be interested to see them in a match together. It might, you know, it's not what I'd be looking forward to in the pay-per-view, but at least there's, like, a follow-up to this feud, you know?
Yeah, I agree. It gives more, you know, backstory to everything, and it helps elevate both guys, and, you know, makes the matches more meaningful too. Instead of just having, you know, wrestler X and B face each other, you now have guys that were former tag team partners that split up, and now they have a purpose for trying to wrestle one another.
Yeah, and the Real Americans, like, every match they're in is usually one of the better matches of the night. So, you know, to see those two, you know, go up against each other, they probably know each other well, so it could be a great match.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things is they recently cut the Antonio name from Cesaro, and what I read online is that Vince thought that Antonio was like a weak name, like as somebody that would be able to be beat. Sorry if your name's Antonio out there,
that's what I thought. Anyone whose name's Antonio, that's such an insult to them.
Yeah, Vince doesn't think he could fight, basically. But no, I mean that it's cool for him though, because it makes it seem like they're gonna do something with him.
Yeah.
They're focusing on that much of like changing his name because they think it'll make him look stronger by being named Cesaro.
Another name, Big E got Langston cut.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think a lot of people just call him Big E, but...
Yeah. Well, he said in an interview recently, he didn't even know where the name Langston came from. He's like, I don't know, they just gave it to me. And I mean, when you're getting called up to the WWE, sometimes you just go with what they give you, so...
I mean, it flowed, but that's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine with Big E.
What do we got? We could go into a little bit more. What about the primetime player split? You interested in that at all?
I am, and I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know who's going to become, like... Well, we have heel and face determined, but I don't know who's going to be, like, the big star to come out of that. If they're both going to be elevated by it, or if you're going to see one of them go to the, back burner. I kind of like Darren Young more than I like Titus O'Neil. I think he's got more charisma and stuff. Titus and is a better worker in the ring. I think Titus O'Neil's just kind of goofy and I don't know. He just looks kind of awkward in the ring.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to see how it goes, but I'm interested to see where it goes. But I can't really decide how I feel about it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they're going back and forth. They did that segment where they were brawling backstage. Mm-hmm. Titus O'Neil sat out on Darren Young's match on commentary and, was providing some feedback and some insight into, where his mind is at in this storyline. So that's kind of cool that they're, giving them some time to develop something a little bit here.
And now another thing that is possibly in developing is we keep hearing about a Miz Ziggler teaming up. What do you think? I'm
fine with it. I'm probably one of the few people in the world that likes The Miz. But I like The Miz and I like Ziggler, and nothing was really being done with either of them. So this is a good opportunity to pair them together and make a tag team. And I think Ziggler can, definitely help The Miz work on some of his matches. I know people say The Miz isn't that great in the ring. I don't think he's terrible.
No,
but
I think he could carry it himself. I mean, if he was able to main event WrestleMania, I'm sure he could do something,
Exactly.
But I'm cool with it. I just hope we heard that they were gonna be like the top, like their team was like they were pissed off about their role in the company or something like that. Like I hope they follow through with it and they give them like a little. They don't hold them back. Like they're not gonna be able to throw pipe bombs like CM Punk, but I think if they do, like people love that type of stuff.
Yeah, I want to pause it. And so far, I mean, we've been seeing them have these segments where they talk and everything, but most of it's been on like the WWE app or WWE.com.
Yeah, Miz has these random run-ins at Raw, but then he did like you said, it was like one of those backstage fallout type things where he flipping out and stuff. But it's weird because I don't think there's been any interaction between both of them.
No.
They're just pissed off.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's why the rumors have been going that they're going to team up, but I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they get those two together as a team. I mean, it could be as simple as, they're just in a match or, Miz comes out during Ziggler's match or something, but I don't know. And will they be a heel team or a face team? I mean, since they're complaining about being against the company, if they were to be together, with Triple H kind of being a heel at this point, I would think that they'd be a face team.
Yeah, I don't know, because like Triple H is a heel one day and then next week he's not, so you never know. But I think that might be the type of team where like, they're supposed to be a heel, but the fans love it. Like, so
I think that there would be a better heel team. I think Ziggler and The Miz are both natural heels.
Definitely. I do not like Miz as a face.
Yeah. So I would like to see them go as a heel. Maybe they'll start off as a face if they team up together and, have a backlash against the Authority and then venture off into heel world.
That's the thing. Like, Ziggler is like so over, and that's why I think so many people get so mad that he's not getting pushed. That like he's not going to be a hated heel, you know?
Yeah, no, he'll be one of those like kind of like when CM Punk was a heel. You know, he was a heel, but people were still cheering him.
Yeah.
And people in the past have done the same thing. So it'll be like one of those guys where he's just loved.
Hopefully, like, because I mean we're getting close. Like next weekend is Elimination Chamber, and usually after that, that's when like all the stuff starts getting set up for WrestleMania. There's supposed to be a big Raw the night after Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, because that's the night the network goes live.
Yeah,
so.
we've heard of Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, Jimmy Hart. Maybe I think I heard Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, they're definitely gearing up for that to make it a big show, both during the show and then after on the network.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be interesting to see. But last week was the debut of the second half of The Walking Dead, and we're not going to talk about that. But in theme with that, we posed the question of what wrestler did you think could survive a zombie apocalypse? And we got some interesting answers, actually. The first one we got was Austin on Twitter, and he said the obvious choice would be Brock Lesnar, but he was going to go with Dolph Ziggler. The next one that we got was Andrew on Twitter, and he said that he was going to go with the Boogeyman, which when I posted this question, I didn't think we'd get a Boogeyman.
We got two Boogeymans.
Yeah, the next one's from Joey over on Facebook, and he also said the Boogeyman. So I don't know, maybe it was that like voodoo-ish character thing he had going on with the makeup and the worms and everything that people just thought he could survive this zombie apocalypse.
I don't know why nobody picked Triple H, because he'll just bury those zombies back in the ground.
Definitely a good point. Joey had another one though. He went with the Sandman. He said he would just cane them all with his Singapore cane, which is true. Nice headshot, take off some zombies. Mikey over on Facebook, he said Brock Lesnar. He abused the Big Show, tossed him around, and be feeding time at Jenny Craig meeting. Tom, of course, with his standard Goldust response for literally everything we post. Tom talks about Goldust. I love it. Miguel, he said Mark Henry, again, like a big guy, juggernaut, thinks he'd go through the zombies. Rob tossed out The Undertaker, saying he's already a dead man.
True.
Makes sense.
True.
Matt said ECW zombie. So I don't know about that one because he's a zombie, so people are going to be trying to kill him. I think ECW zombie's the first one to go.
Definitely.
But Matt's second choice is the Sandman, so the Sandman would probably take out ECW zombie. And finally, we got Chris, and he said Randy Orton. He's smart, quick, strong, and has a military background.
All right.
So what's your choice, Ange? Who do you think would survive a zombie apocalypse?
Out of the ones they said?
And out of anybody that you could think of.
I think I'm going to go with Triple H.
Triple H, because he could bury people. I like it. I'm going to go with Balls Mahoney because he had that chair shot, and what do you need to take out a zombie? True. Shots to the head.
Yeah.
Balls Mahoney.
Definitely smart picks are the headshot picks, but yeah, I think you guys did pretty good except for ECW Zombie.
Yeah, Matt, what the hell? ECW Zombie. But I don't know. I think that about wraps it up for this one.
Yeah, we're out of time and we're out of here.
Soon.